The pandemic is taking a big toll on the local entertainment industry. I'm joined by staff writer Mia Galoppo from The Hollywood Reporter to talk about this. Mia, thank you so much. I know you, like a lot of people, are working from home, and there's so
Yes.
much in terms of changes that are going on in the movie industry. So why don't you just give us kind of the latest, and then we'll dive into it.
Well, the industry honestly has been upended, as all industries have with the coronavirus. The film industry specifically has been affected because the cinemas have closed down. Production has halted. As with other industries, layoffs and furloughs have had to happen. It is widespread and it is massive.
So in the beginning, studios were choosing to delay a lot of their big films, and then some were choosing to actually release them on streaming. Is any of that helping in terms of work and what people are able to do, since a lot of people in the industry are now out of work?
Yeah, so the release date calendar has been completely pushed. There are no movies set to be released in April. As you said, with streaming, some companies have gone that route. Specifically, Disney decided to put Artemis Fowl, which was set for a theatrical release, into their Disney Plus platform, whereas Paramount movie The Lovebirds has gone to Netflix. It has helped because you're able to stave off, having to do those promotion and advertising campaigns, those marketing campaigns but for some films like A Quiet Place, which was pushed, only a week before its release, that production and advertising spend has already happened.
Right, that's so interesting. I know in the news industry, some people are able to just shift to corona coverage in order to hold on to some jobs, but there's less of that in the entertainment industry. I mean, how is the Hollywood Reporter handling this? Are most of you still working?
Yeah, all of us are still working from home. We're really lucky that we are able to work remotely as journalists. But yeah, as you said, we're able to have Zoom meetings, but production has been halted. It's hard to light a set over Zoom. It's hard to direct a movie digitally. It's just not possible. But those productions have had to be halted because it is a large amount of people in a small and confined space.
Right. I wonder if there will be sort of a push to change the way things are produced and still be able to get some content created within certain guidelines. Do you see that happening before this is all completely over?
It could be a possibility. We haven't seen it happening on the film side yet, but you see late night television doing it. You see Jimmy Fallon and Trevor Noah continuing to produce their segments from home. Writers' rooms for television shows have continued to go, but they are doing so over digital. But once again, those productions that have to happen on sets are just not possible still. But people are trying to troubleshoot and are trying to problem solve. But we are still a little early on in this pandemic right now to try to figure out how this industry can shift. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry trying to shift in less than a month's time, and it's going to take a lot more time in order to figure out how we can continue forward within the current constraints.
Right. So the assumption as far as streaming services is that this would be a great time for streaming services, but are the numbers showing that?
Streaming service consumption is obviously up with people at their homes, and a couple of studios like Universal have decided to release movies like the latest Trolls movie early and on demand, and other movies on demand like Birds of Prey. A couple of other features that were set for theatrical have gone early to digital and on demand because that is the only option right now.
Right, and then you also have Quibi, which just is launching today. We just had Jeffrey Katzenberg on. Um, is that going to be a big contender in all this, since you can watch it on your phone and everything's supposed to be really digestible and short?
Yeah, content in any form right now is important. Anything that you can watch from your couch or at home is going to be doing well. But that being said, the marketplace is going to only get more crowded. We have an HBO Max launch and a Peacock launch coming up that are still, as of now, on plan to continue their launch despite the pandemic. So the marketplace is only going to get more crowded, so there will only be contenders.
Yeah, and really a concern for everyone that would normally work in production. I mean, to be out of work for a month or two is going to hit some people pretty hard. So do you see things just sort of being more of the same for the next month?
As of now, with everything so far up in the air, it's going to continue being the same. I mean, our shelter at home orders can continue through till April as of now, so productions can't continue, so people will remain out of work. People are starting to plan for the future a couple of months down the line, hoping that productions will be able to continue in July or August, but it's still so unsure because we just don't know how this pandemic is going to play out.
Right, it really is day by day, but hopefully at some point it will. Now, a new player in the crowded field of streaming services debuts during the pandemic. The founder of Quibi tells us about how the outbreak affected the launch.